Hi friends, welcome to ARC Tutorials. In today's episode, we will learn all about Angular 8's NgStyle. So what is NgStyle? Using NgStyle, we can easily define style for any element attribute in our Angular application. We will learn with a lot of practicals, but before we proceed friends, I request you kindly subscribe to my channel to keep encouraging and supporting me. Also, this is part of our full Angular tutorial series. So if you have missed anything, please feel free to go back and check other videos. So what is ngStyle? ngStyle is a directive that lets you give a certain DOM element specific style properties. For example, if you want to set, say, font color, background color, any CSS property, you can set it easily using our ngStyle directive. Let's see that in action. So I am firing up my application that we started doing. So for the sake of simplicity, I have imported a module. We have seen how to create a module in previous tutorials. I'll not cover it here, but instead I'll straight jump to my module, and inside that, let's go into our footer, right? So now I want to style it. So here one way to style our application is to give class. So this way you can set multiple CSS properties, but using ngStyle, we can achieve the similar thing by setting individual properties. We can also add conditions. We'll see that in just a bit, but before that, let me show you. Let's run the application. To run the application, we will use the command. All right. So we need to be in our folder and then CSS and then now say ngserve. I will open up a quick browser and we can type localhost 4200. So that's where our application will load once it's ready. In the meanwhile, friends, I request you to kindly subscribe to my channel to keep supporting and also to get latest tutorials directly to you. All right, so now our application is compiled. So this is how our application looks. We built it in our previous tutorial. Today we are going to use ngStyle and learn all about it, how to use conditional operators. So let's get that started. So you see here, I have set some background color for footer light green. Now that is coming from class equal to footer. And if you open the CSS, you would see that I have set some light green color. So that's why it is showing up the green background. But I don't want to use class. Instead, let's try with ngStyle. So I am going to comment this off here. Instead, we will now learn how to use ngStyle. So remove this class here. Now, since it's a directive, we will place ng style. So this is how we will define our ng style and then we'll set the properties. Now I want the similar look and feel. So I will say background hyphen color. So this is where it gets tricky. So you need to be really careful since you're doing a binding. You need to put it here. And now we will have to provide our name that we want to provide. I will not give it green because you have already seen that in working. Let's just give some other name. I'm calling it blue. All right. So that is not fired up. Let's quickly check it out. Right. All right. So there we go. So using ng style, we have set the property background color to blue. Now let's take it to next level. Now what if this value is coming from my component class, right? So let's go to our footer component and define a variable which will hold some value. So here I will say bg color equal to blue. Right, so all I've done is I've defined a variable in our component class, and in HTML we are doing a binding. So see, there is no difference. the output is still same. Now you want to test it, so just make it red. So now we see that it is binded directly in our template. Now let's put some conditional operators. So this is first example that we just saw. So I'll just list down here so you can revise it easily for you. So here I'm putting blue color directly to the ng style. In the next example, we have put, so I'll just keep it here so you can easily refer to what all tutorial I'm covering. All right, so first example, we have set direct value. In the second example, we are passing through a variable. Now let's put some conditional operators. For example, I want to check that if the value is greater than, or let's say if the value is equal to, say, any, say month is equal to November, right? And so I need to highlight different color. If it's December, Christmas, I need a different color, right? So that's the simple if else condition we can put. So now let's put that condition and check it again. So for that we can use our conditional operator. And how do we use that? So we can put the same, any it can be any element. You can use div, you can use paragraph, doesn't matter. Again, we'll bind it. And now here we will have to write our conditions. So we will write in the brace, and then we will write background color. Now what color you want to check? So here we can check if, let's say, if something is set to true, we can make it red or false or whatever it is. So I will define that variable. I'll say user value. Has user given any value? If yes, use it. Else, if user value is, let's say, equal to say orange, then put use orange. If not, so since it's an operator, friends, we have to be careful about using exact match. And then we can also say question mark. So here we are saying, what if the value doesn't match? Then let's say we want to add teal color, right? So here it's simple. So let's first see the output. There is some error. Let's see what that is. So it will say that user value is not defined. So let's go ahead here. Let's call it pink. All right. So let's see what the error is. In the inspect element, you can see it says end of expected character. Okay. So something we have missed out. Let's see what that is. So here we are starting our single quotes. We have ended it here. We are closing our question mark. All right. Okay, so it says end because there is no closing div. And all right, here we'll say footer from conditional NgStyle. All right, so now, all right, let's quickly check it out. So conditional expressions, Teal requires all three expressions. Okay, so all three expressions, let's see. First is the value that we want to, first is the attribute that we want to set, followed by the value equal to value, question mark. If it is true, then what you need to set, that's the important thing. So let's say I'm saying if the value is equal to orange, then set it to pink, or else set it to teal, right? So simple. The condition is this: match this condition. If it is true, then set pink. If not, then put it teal. So here we can see it has put the green color teal color. That's because it is not equal to orange. Now let's go to our component class and make this orange. So now you see, now it is pink. So I'll go back to template to show you. So you can see here that there are three different ways we are trying, and it works well. So just to recap once again, friends, the first way to set NgStyle is directly binding the attribute and the property and the value, directly passing the value, that is background color equal to blue. The second example is through a variable. So we can set a NgStyle and pass a variable directly from our component class. The third example is you want to set some background color based on a condition. The condition here is if user value is equal to matching with orange, set it to pink, else teal. So this way you can choose different ways that you want to work with NgStyle. I want you to try it out, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section and I will be happy to help you for free. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you in the next episode.